sorry. Well, I guess we're on. I was getting my Madonna Vogue on.
Hey, Karen's watching already. Karen Devon, how you doing, buddy?
He's such
And
a
a
cool dude,
happy
isn't
New
he?
Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Fred. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. Great background you got up there tonight, Stevie. I love it, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Real quick, I seen at the very beginning, the 30-second countdown. We were talking about that earlier. I kind of like it, Steve, if not. But anyhow, did you go live before you hit it the first time?
I hit it. And then I hit the live button and it counted down to so much. And I thought, let's try to restart it. And then it shut off. And
I got a quick story real quick. When I went back and did the Monte Casino thing, I televised from my brother's house, right? So we set everything all up like that. And I go ahead. I can't remember. I had like 3 or 4 guys on. So I go ahead and I start the show and I start the countdown and then I start talking and I look up and I still had not gone live. So I had to go back and redo everything. I had to go live, go back and redo everything. And then I get into it 5 minutes and didn't plug my computer in. All of a sudden, in the middle of my show, up comes low battery. So, yeah, that was a pretty good one. And we got, I don't know if you know Hank Emery, but, I've had Hank on my show. Hank is a terrific guy. He has a field, and yeah, there you go, Preston County Paintball. Good man, very, very cool guy. Very, very happy to have him for a friend. And you see the Ruse watching us also.
Yeah, I saw. I was talking to Connor earlier. He was helping me to design the background.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Well, see, I wanted the show to look good for the beginning of the year. Start some positive vibes.
Oh, as long as you weren't having problems with the numbers, the 2022. As long as you weren't having problems with that, I'm cool.
No problem at all. But the issue was I actually put that you're actually looking at 4 pictures overlaid on top of each other to make it look the way it does.
It looks great. It really, really does.
I had to layer it, but when I test on StreamYard, I can't test it with a 2-camera layout because I need 2 people. So I had Rue in my head while I'm pounding away on GIMP, which is the free version of Photoshop because I can't afford Photoshop. So I went with GIMP, but it works great for me. So we got a lot of people.
It looks terrific. It really does. And, Tina Vasquez is watching right now, so I want to wish her an extremely happy New Year.
She's on the board of directors of the Al Remembered Foundation.
Oh, very cool. And, I got Keith Kissel. Keith is
Kiko!
Kiko man. He's a good friend of mine. He's working real hard with me to put the WCPL tournament together that we've got coming up. So
Jesus,
Kiko's a good guy. I like him.
It's just doomed now.
Yeah. It just kind of rolls off my lips, It's 2022. I tried to be nice and quiet last year, so I'm gonna come out of my shell this year, Steve.
Oh, geez, you're gonna get louder.
No, but I'm into a 40-minute monologue.
Well, you know what? You haven't been able to because we're only 4 minutes in, and I have the ability to mute you. So we're.
I knew that would light you up the minute I mentioned that.
But no, you asked me earlier, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Henry. But remember when we did our Christmas show a year ago? He was one of the people that entered a subscription, and I remember it because it was really cool.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. The people that I always talk about all the time, Steve, just like you do the same thing. These are people that I consider good for the sport.
Right.
I am into anybody that I personally think in my mind that it is good for paintball. I will help them. I will push them. I will support them all the way down the line. And, Hank is one of them guys. He's got a field out in the mountains out there. And I've seen pictures of them guys out there playing and stuff and having a good time. And I absolutely love it. I'm hoping maybe sometime this year I could even slide by there on my way to Florida because I might drive to Florida this year. So we'll see.
Okay, so you live at the top end of California.
Pretty close. I live in the middle.
And
I live in the middle.
Okay.
I live by San Francisco.
Okay. And he's in New Hampshire, isn't he?
No, he's down south in, oh my gosh. I'm lost. I want to say something like Tennessee or something in that area.
Okay, because it says HNY, so I thought that was like a typo with New York. So
no.
Oh, okay.
No. Nope. But he's a cool guy though. He really, really is. So we got a Facebook user, Pa.
You know who Connor's that is? Making fun of you. Hey, if you mute him and the hands keep going, we still understand them.
Yeah, I'm half Italian. You know how that goes. You tie my hands and I start stuttering, man. Come on,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Facebook user said PA. So I think that's Pa. I think that's PA.
Pennsylvania.
That's my guess.
Yeah, gosh, I didn't think it was there. I thought it was down south more. But West Virginia. There you go. See? Yeah. Right on, Henry. Good man.
So
he's pretty cool. Go ahead.
I guess you're wondering why Fred and I all called this meeting. Honestly, all we wanted to do was we just wanted to start 2022 off right. We wanted to get some positive energy going, get some positive paintball vibes going, and it's up to everybody out there watching just to keep these going all year long. But we just wanted to make sure everything started right. Unless you got anything to add with that, or is that just a...
I thought that was pretty good. You said it exactly like I told you
to. Okay, so this guy, just so everybody knows, this guy, I'm like, hey, should we have some notes? Nah, let's just ad-lib it like we always do. And I'm like, rock on.
That's actually how we do our best, I'm seeing neither one of us can read real quick. The ad-lib works the best. So if I got it written down, I'm like, let me see. Where did I leave off and where do I begin again, Chuck Norris can hear sign language.
I don't know.
There you go.
I think Rue finds that funny, but
I was going to say, how's Connor know all this stuff? God, he's a smart guy, tell you. Man. Yeah.
Oh, we got.
You couldn't or you don't want to.
We got Ryan from Courtney saying, "Hey, Fred, great to see you both." He says, Ryan, "Great to see you both," but he says hi to you.
Yeah. Well, you got to kind of read into that. Ryan's one of the guys. Ryan is one of those people I was just talking about a few minutes ago. That is good for paintball, and he watches my show all the time, but that's not the reason. That the reason is he cares enough to watch some of these shows to see what's going on, and those kind of people, if they're that curious or that intellectually bound that they want to keep learning about what's going on in paintball, to tune in and watch us. I can't say enough about these guys. And, he is one of the terrific people. He's a terrific guy. Ryan Courtney, he's a terrific guy. That's all I'll say. I'm hoping, I'd like to put him on a show sometime,
Okay, Ryan, you heard it from the man there. Got to reach out to him in private. Personally, I don't want you. If you can't remember my name.
Yeah, he remembered. You said, "Hey,
my Fred." Name's right there.
No, he said, "Hey." He said, "Hey, Fred." So I think that I think he was referring to you as "Hey." I'm not sure, but I'd love to have him on the show. And Tina, Tina Vasquez.
I don't know if I've met her personally or not when I was in Colorado. And I'm sorry, Tina, if I did, I do apologize, but it was so many people all at once that came to me at Dynamic Paintball and when I was traveling around with Andy Starrett of the Alley Remembered Foundation. So, Tina, I'm sorry if I forget shaking your hand. I do apologize. I was just on information overload. So I don't know if I've met her in person, but I talk to her online fairly regularly.
He's a snob. Anyhow, yeah. I walk up to shake his hand and he goes like this and walks away. So, I don't know. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this year. Yeah.
Me too.
Deep breath, Steve. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year. Last year, we made that pretty cool, but it sucked. Things came out really good and things started rolling again, especially compared to at the very, very beginning part of the year.
Right.
So I'm hoping that this year things will open up a lot more because, I want to come up to Canada and play some paintball. And I want you guys from Canada to come down here and play some paintball. So
well, I know that Donna couldn't wait to have you. I'm speaking on her behalf. But I know that she'd probably just absolutely love to have you.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to coming because you talk about that field all the time. So.
I can't even begin to tell you how nice my local fields are. Like, first and foremost, I got to talk about Combat Pursuit, which is owned by the Van Dorsers, Trevor and Jeff. And I always forget Jeff's name. I do apologize, but I remembered it this time. Pay no attention to the notes that are behind the monitor. But it's like an old school, early 90s mom and pop kind of field with tons of woods. Like, it's just all woods ball.
Oh, that's cool. I love woods ball.
There's a couple short fields. There's a couple scenario things, a couple little towers. It's nothing massive, but it is so, I want to say homey, for lack of a better word, but that's just because I've been playing forever and I've known these guys forever. And when I just sort of roll there, it's kind of like Cheers and everybody just screams, Norm. And that's probably too old for most of our watchers anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. But it has that feel. And then when you go to Wasaga Beach,
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I can't even begin to tell you. It is as good as any field I've ever been to in my entire life. And when you consider I've been to PMR or EMR, not PMR, my apologies. That's a paintball gun. There's too many acronyms in paintball, damn it. There's just too many. It's got to stop. But I've been to Hell Survivors and anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the WCPL tournament up at Combat Zone up in Orville, and that's a hell of a field too. Where it's woods ball, and he's got many other things there. It's just absolutely fantastic, And I got Kiko and a bunch of other guys, Dan Ringer. There's a bunch of people that are going up there and help me because it's starting to count down. We're only like 4.5 weeks away right now from doing that. So. And Ryan says he misses the old day of Skyball. Absolutely. So do I, pal. Those were some great times. I was up there a couple of times. Matter of fact, that's the first time that Steve and I actually talked to each other. And the next thing you know, we hook up, 25 years later or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting.
You know what really sucks about last year is I was actually asked to get involved with a reboot of Skyball. It wasn't going to be Skyball, but it was going to be at a major stadium. And then COVID just killed everything. But I was asked to give my opinion, and because I was there and who I could talk to and blah, blah. So it was just in the very early stages, and it just all died.
Well, if you get a chance this year, Tim Schloss is part of the WCPL also, and he's having the final tournament, Steve, and it's in St. Louis, and it's at Gateway Paintball. You want to see a field, you need to go to Gateway Paintball. This will blow you away. He has 110 or 108 or 110 acres, and there is like 10 or 12 different of the coolest, most groomed fields you'll ever see ever. It's incredible. It really is.
I don't doubt that, but wait till you get to Wasaga Beach, dude. It's gonna only problem you're gonna have with Wasaga Beach is there's lots of hills.
Yeah,
big ones.
Yeah, see, Tim's is pretty flat. The older you get, the flatter you like them,
Well, this has hills, and there's like a UFO on the top, and then there's like a whole but there's not all fields are hilled, and you don't have to run up and down the hills, but there's hills.
Well, see, with Tim's field, it's different types of field though. The hyperball is just. I'm telling you, he's got like 8 different kinds of fields, and he's got like 4 woods ball fields, Steve, and they're regular woods, all groomed. I mean, no brush anywhere, just all groomed with wood bunkers, and it rolls. It's got berms and stuff through it. Oh, it's absolutely cool. And Mark Gong is watching us. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Apparently, Caesar's watching us too, because Ryan said, "Hey to Caesar Pizzo." I love
Caesar. Yeah, Caesar always tunes in. Caesar's a good guy. Caesar has the Ultra Silk. He does a boom treatment, and I got to tell you, he did my autococker, and it just yeah. Oh, I got it over here too.
It won't focus.
Yeah, I got it over here too. It just absolutely rocks.
Maybe that one will that one focus?
No, I can't see it.
All right. Well, the camera doesn't like it, but I do.
Mine are over on the other thing, and I'm all wired up, so I'd have to get up and walk over there. But it's a terrific product. I push it all the time, and I was a little skeptical to start with, about it, and then my autococker went to him, and it came back, The autococker even sounds different, Steve.
I know,
Everything just
right?
is so smooth. And he boom treated my barrels. I use Field 1 barrels. I love Field 1.
Yeah.
And so I use Field 1 barrels. And I got to tell you, if I break a ball in there, I shoot another ball and it just clears it out. I'm not out there swabbing anything. It just rocks. I absolutely love it. I really do. And as far as Mark, yep, there you go. And as far as Mark Gong goes, I always say hello to his kids every week, because Mark Jr. and Jaden, they're on the Hermans.
Right.
Yeah. And Steve, I wish you could watch these kids play.
I'm sure I'll get to chance.
Away. They are so amazing. And they're just like Mark. They come off the field. They are just as polite and cool as could be. I think a lot of that's from Lily. That's Mark's wife and the kid's mom. But Mark, I'm sure has something to do with it. So,
well, I rolling back a little bit. Tim Schloss is actually one of the people that I really want to shake hands with in 2022. That is one of my goals, and I also really want to shake hands with Jim Lively. Like those are two people that I really, really want to meet. I know that I've met Jim Lively in passing at various events, but I never actually got to just shake his hand. It was like, oh, that's Jim Lively. Did you like, you know what I mean? But so
yeah, I just talked to Jim the other day. Jim is coming down for my tournament next month. Because he used to live in Tennessee all those years because he had the Masters, as you well know.
Yes.
I always say back in the day, there was 2 tournaments he wanted to go. Jerry Braun's World Cup and Jim Lively's Masters. Because I got to tell you, Steve, it was like going and all your friends and family that you had in this sport always ended up at these 2 tournaments for sure. No matter what other tournaments you went to, they were always at these 2. And I just look forward so much to going to those. And Jim is a very classy guy. Him and Sam Caldwell used to do the Masters. And, God rest his soul because Sam has passed away. But these guys were great. And now that you
changed
put that
his name.
I know it. You know that?
Now that we get right. I think we made fun of him enough publicly to thousands of people.
You know who Chica is, don't you?
Yes, the pup.
That's correct. Yeah. And I got to now put him back up again real quick because I got to say, yeah, they're rolling a little quick. He's one of those guys. I sent him one of our shirts.
Okay.
And he thanked us. He put it online and he thanked us. And like I told you, I sent a couple of these shirts out for raffles, and one of them went for $200. The other went for $225. I sent him one because of his loyalty.
Right.
I mean, he watches your show all the time. He watches my show all the time. He watches a couple other ones that I won't mention because
yeah, a lot of
yeah. And
like
I just
the bunker. There's the Command Bros.
Yeah, and he watches all of them and he helps spread the word about it. So he is an absolutely cool guy. Hey, love the hoodie. Yeah, this is the same thing as the shirt you got.
Yeah. Well,
Passion drives us.
Yeah.
So, but I only got one of these. Otherwise, I would have sent you one for sure, Josh. No doubt about it.
Oh, but I wouldn't get one.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I'd send you a lot of stuff, but it costs like $1 gazillion to send anything up north.
So I gotta interrupt everything here because Ryan says Mass was so much fun. Played with the family there and had so much fun. Went on and fun well out. Anyway, so Ryan, did you ever play for the family at Skyball 2 or 3? And when I say family, I'm talking the one with Bon, and it was her family because wasn't it like stepfather, mother, Bonnie, her brother, and a cousin or something like that, which was it was called the family. And because I actually got a picture with you if you did, because I've got a picture of myself with the family at Skyball 2 or 3. I can't remember, but anyway,
that's pretty cool, and Mark Gong's another one, Mark
Keely
and I go
Watson,
way back.
That was it, not Bon. It was Keely. My mistake.
Oh, good. But anyhow, Mark Gong, I'm going to mention him again because I think he's such a terrific guy, and he works so hard for the sport of paintball also. Working hard with the kids and everything like that I mean, I wish you could be down here to see some of the stuff that he does, Steve. And Steve, he played on Constant Pursuit back in the day. He actually was a hell of a player, and he was a great guy. I put him on his show when we did the ESPN show, and he tripped and fell. To this day, this has been like 25, 30 years now. And some people still call it a trip. Some people call it a slide. So, you almost have to watch the show and make your. I don't tease him about the trip anymore. I let
That's
that go
because you took a
him.
nice, good fall at the last World Cup, as I understand it. Sorry.
No, that was a skilled dive with my face into the dirt. What I'm working on right now is I'm working on a new vest that's got wheels on it. So when I dive next time like that, I can roll into the bunker. But yeah,
you don't have to work that out. They sell those at oh
yeah, here we go.
Princess Auto.
Yeah,
you just need some tie straps and an automotive crawler.
No, I want the big wheels. They got to be rubber wheels too. I can't be hitting the ground doing with these hard wheels. Oh no, that even hurt just thinking about
auto
that,
crawler, and it's padded. And then better yet, you can get them with pillows, so it can be like a rolling cot.
Boy, Steve, you seem to know an awful lot about that. Have you tried this?
I beg your pardon?
I said, you seem to know an awful lot about that. Have you tried that?
Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Apparently we have met. You're a great guy. Glad you stuck around the sport. Okay, Ryan. So where did I meet you? Because all I'm seeing is like it's Facebook, and it's been decades. So you're going to have to shake my brain a little bit so that I can put it all together, my friend. So.
Yeah, he'll come back on. He'll tell you where.
Oh, I'm sure. And he'll probably tell me where to go, too, in the process. It's all good.
Yeah, it's hard to remember all this stuff, huh? Oh. I got to tell you, sometimes I get lost. Sometimes I get lost when I leave the house.
My eyes are still watering a little bit from those glow sticks. Okay, for those of you who don't know, the reason why we started a little bit later past 9 o'clock is my fault. I went to get a drink. And I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I threw a glow stick in the drink so it looked like I was drinking something nuclear for the show? I thought that would be awesome. So I grabbed this bag of glow sticks that I had, and it was all sealed up that I'd gotten from the dollar store. I opened it up, and the stench was like this chemical skunk. It was like getting pepper sprayed in the nose. Like I don't know how else to describe it. And I'm excuse me, I'm still a little choked up about it. So.
Yeah, before the show, that's what he was talking about. He goes, oh, it just stunk. Oh, you ever been shot by a skunk? Oh, you've been pepper sprayed. Oh. So obviously it was a traumatic experience for my little
Says
buddy.
The guy who won't go out in 12-degree weather.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, it's only been 50-some degrees here, pal. That's not easy on us. You know that. And Brian, I'd butcher his last name, but he said he loves his shirt.
Yeah.
And he's another very, very cool guy. I wish I could pronounce your last name. I'd try it. No, I'm not going to try it because
I got to be honest with you, Fred. As much as I love making fun of you, and I do, I don't think that last name is a legit. I think that is a made up name for Facebook.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because it says CZYN. Like it's Ton and then CZY and then CZYN. And I have my doubts.
Okay, Brian, if you get a chance, let me know if that's a real name or if it's not a real name.
See, I don't know if that's a real last name or not. Like, and I'm no offense, Brian, if it is, it just looks a little kind of made up. It looks like, okay, put in Brian and it's like, okay, Facebook requires last name. Ta-da!
I love it. Let's see. Shane Richard, when Fred Schultz signature series Air America regs were made, did you hand engrave your name into this stainless? No, I didn't hand. You know what? They asked me for my signature, Shane, real quick. I did it real quick, and Danny goes, I got to have it right now, Freddie. So I signed it. It looked like a chicken with muddy feet ran across the paper, but that's what the signature was. And then they lasered those in there like that. But it almost looked like I did it by hand because it was such a bad signature. Now my new signature, now I take my time when I sign it. Somebody asks me for an autograph or something like that. I don't just throw it out there like I used to do. I take my time and make it happen. And Brian says, haha, it's absolutely real. See? Yeah. And you wonder why I'm his favorite. That's why. You were just teasing him about that. Come on. Jeez. But yeah, anyhow, it's pretty cool. See, hey, Fred, it's not cold in California. You are in Southern California, my friend. Bud down there, Bud or a friend of mine, Bud, when it's 70 degrees, Bud's putting his jacket on.
Friend of ours. Thank you very much.
Been a friend of mine for 30 some years. So
hey, I met him at Skyball too, just like I met you. So
yeah, there you go.
And Bud remembers me. You didn't.
What'd that cost you? But anyhow, so yeah, that's Brian's name. That's pretty cool. Brian, we should bring Brian on sometime. Brian's another guy that watches all the time. I'd love to bring him on. And you know what I like, Steve, is when I bring these people on, my favorite thing is one of the new guys. I ask them, how did you get started in paintball? That is got to be one of my favorite things, to listen to people. How did you get started in paintball? Because some of the stories are just fantastic. They really, really are. And some of them you wouldn't expect, So people get started and turned on to the sport in so many different ways. And I absolutely love it. Margong, it was 36 degrees this morning at Capitol Edge Paintball. There you go, 36 degrees up in Sacramento.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, well.
Your point?
Yeah, I don't mind it when it's cold like that, as long as I'm looking from the inside out the window. But I don't want to be on the other side of the window looking in. So, yeah, that's, people go, you're pushing. I go, yeah, big deal.
I used to be called Jester back when I started playing paintball because, I don't know, Top Gun was really cool back then and it was still in. And I always kind of liked that whole thing. And I
thought it because you had a stiff leg.
Only the middle one.
Well, Chester, yeah. That's why they call you tripod. Chester from Gunsmoke. I don't know. You might not be old enough for that.
I remember it. I watched all the old stuff that was out long before my birthday.
Gio's watching us right now too.
Yeah.
Yep. Gio's a good guy. Gio did. It's really funny how I got turned on to Gio too. I read a thing online from this guy that one of their friends had cancer real bad, and they were going to do a fundraising thing for him, right? So I'm thinking, well, you know what? I'm kind of into this stuff. I like helping people like that. Right. So I called the guy up, and he was at work. He's a fireman, and I don't know this. And I asked, I think his name was Chris. And I go, yeah, is this Chris? He goes, yeah. And I says, yeah. I said, this is Fred Schultz. He goes, yeah, right. And I go, seriously, that's what he said. And I go, no, really, it's Fred Schultz. He goes, you're kidding. I go, no, I'm serious. I'm calling about the ad. I think I'd seen about you doing this special. So anyhow, we talked a little bit, and then he turned me on to Gio. He goes, yeah, Gio is the guy that's handling it. So, and Gio and I kind of had the same conversation to start with too. It was pretty funny. But we got to help his friend. Very, very bad. He had stage 4 cancer. Right. So I was so glad. Yeah. Tim, that's it. I moved.
I was never. Ryan asked if I was on the AOL paintball rooms. I was never on AOL, but I was on the IRC chats. So I was Saber in the IRC chats.
There you go.
So,
well, that's cool. Ryan Courtney, like I say, is one of the good guys. Yeah, look at all these people that are chiming in tonight. These are the people that normally watch the shows, and these are the people that are, I think, really good for the sport, Steve.
I couldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree.
I got to tell you, I feel privileged to know a lot of these guys. I'm very, very lucky because I started in paintball when paintball was just about nothing. And so I got to grow into the sport with all the real notables that really worked hard on the sport back in the day. But some of the new people I've met in the past year are just so important to me. It's unreal. And I'm sure you go through the same thing, Steve. Meeting new people.
I didn't start quite as early as you did, because when you were up here anyway, it was kids were discouraged from playing. But I had a paintball hat when I was 12, which was 1982, and that's when paintball came to Canada. Like, it was first game was played in 1981, which you're well aware in the States. First game in Canada was played in the spring of 1982 in Perth, Ontario. Most people don't know that, nor do most people care, but I do, so you all have to suffer. Anyway, so I've had a paintball hat since 1982. So when it finally came around, there was paintball in my area, and I had my own car, and I was able to do things at like age 19. I went out and played for the first time, and everything around here was all Splatmasters and Nell spots.
Yep.
Everything was 12 gram. Everything was compressed air was almost unheard of. There was 2 or 3 people that had the SMGs, the Tippmann SMGs with the stripper clips.
Right.
But they had sucky range, and it was impossible to find. Like, fields didn't have bulk CO2 just to charge the guns up. So yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, I know, Robbo.
Yeah, I know him for a long time. I played against him over in England too. So Robo and I. Yeah, that's the problem. All these old names that come up, man. This is the guys I started with way back in the day too.
Yeah.
The first time I went to England to play paintball, I had a friend over there. His name was Paul Wilson. Anyhow, he was a court magistrate. Thank God, or we would all got arrested. But anyhow, we flew into there, and we were playing on an old abandoned World War II air base. And all of a sudden, the bobbies show up, the police. They show up, and they were in force, and they were ready to haul us in. And thank God we had Paul Wilson, which has passed away now, but a great guy. He was a court magistrate anyhow. We talked him out of it. So, and then when I left, I had a couple of my friends with me. And then when I left, we're in the airport. All of a sudden, this guy comes walking up. He's got 2 guys behind him with guns. And they don't carry guns in England. Anyhow, he comes up and he goes, "You Fred Schultz?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Will you come with me and your 2 friends?" They take us into this big round. It was like 3 stories tall, and it was all concrete, and it was round. And up on the deck, there was 3 guys with guns. They had every piece of our clothing and paintball stuff laid out on the floor, all nice and neat. And it was all about the 12 grams and everything like that is what it was about. So, yeah, so I had to sit and talk to him, tell him what was going on, yada, yada, yada. So that was very interesting. And then we almost missed the flight because obviously we had to repack all our stuff again. So
right.
That was my first trip to England. And that was, I think, in 88 or something like that, 87. I don't remember. But I went over with Tim Schloss from Tiger Stripe, and Jim Lively was with us. And there was a few of us. It was a pretty cool time, except for that incident. So does Tim Schloss have his video up and running now? His internet connection stuff? Because you keep talking about trying to get him on a show. Well, he's got it. He's kind of got it. If his son's around, his son's a whiz at this stuff. I mean, Greg is absolutely just like you, Steve. He's awesome at that electronic stuff. But if he's not around, Tim's like me pretty much. He's dead in the water. So, Greg's supposed to be back. I think Greg's on vacation right now. He's in Florida. And so when he comes back, I'm probably going to put him on here pretty soon and talk to him. So, but
nice, because he's one of the like I said, Tim Schloss, Jim Lively. I'd love to meet Dave Youngblood as well. And I know he's old news to you, but to me, we've always, whenever we're at an event where we're both.
He played on Constant Pursuit. You froze, Steve. Uh-oh, Steve froze.
It looks like I came back.
Yeah, you did.
Saying connection is unstable. But I shouldn't be on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, mine should be good. Didn't you? Isn't this going out also on Flagpole?
Yep, this is on Flagpole.
Yeah, so interesting.
I don't know why that happened, but who knows? Could be all the snow that we have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, most of the wires are on telephone poles.
Yeah, I know how that works. I'm from
stuff.
Wisconsin. You know, when I lived in Wisconsin, we used to call summertime just 3 months of bad sledding because, it seemed like it was cold all the time. But, it's pretty cool. And I don't mind the cold weather. I just not crazy about it anymore.
Right.
Now I just, I like to roll where it's warm and everything like that. So right on. I just wanted to check, see if it's on Flagpole. It is.
Oh, it's there. I promised you.
Yeah.
We are on Flagpole. We are on Popular Unknown. We are on The Expendables, and we are on YouTube. We are on paintball.medias, and they're 40,000 people. And we are also on Twitch, although I don't think we actually have anybody watching us on Twitch.
Well,
surprisingly enough, we have one person watching on Twitch. Hey, the people on Twitch.
Ryan says, I ever thought about getting Bill and Don Mills on, I haven't heard the names in a long, long time.
I actually had.
They would be cool to have on.
Dawn was my very first guest ever on a podcast.
Oh, really?
She's the coolest person, yes. And Bill and Dawn, they're still involved in paintball. They work with behind the scenes. Bill does a lot of technical drawings and things like that for paintball manufacturing companies. I don't know if he wants his name out there or not, so I'm not going to say what companies he works for. But they keep it all behind the scenes. And Don actually has a boxer, like the dog, the breed, rescue, and they've got a couple boxers. And yeah, I can't say enough nice things about Bill and Don Mills. They're probably two of the greatest people that paintball has ever seen, bar none.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, excuse me just a second here. Oliver Lang, right?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he does headbands and everything like that. Yeah, anyhow, he's going to be on my show.
Cool.
And we were trying to set it up. I didn't know if I was going to have him on this Tuesday or the following Tuesday.
Right.
Because I got to jockey things around because I've got other guests and stuff like that. So anyhow, he just texted me and said,
Happy New Year, probably.
Can do. So yeah. So I think maybe it might be this week. I got to talk to him and find out. But within the next couple of weeks, Oliver Lang is going to be on. We're going to talk about the headbands and everything that they've got out. And he goes way back too. He's from around here. When Constant Pursuit and the Iron Practice men practiced together all the time. He was around. He played with them.
Do you know why? Do you know why Oliver Lang is famous in the paintball world other than his skill?
What's that?
He was the first paintball player to make $1 million a year.
Yeah,
as a paintball player. He is the very first one.
Yep, that's what I heard. I came pretty close a couple of years, but yeah, that's pretty darn good. Went to link up with him. Wow, Brian Courtney, because, Oliver might be watching us right now, too, because he knew we were going to be on. And, this time right here, I don't know what the hell time it is anymore. Was it 7 o'clock?
So it's 10 p.m. here, so 7 p.m.
7 o'clock here. So when it's 7 o'clock here in California, it is 11 o'clock in the morning in Bali. And Ryan Courtney said that he is heading to Bali this year. So, Oliver, if you're watching, Ryan Courtney is a good guy. When he comes over there, you might want to link up with him. He's a good guy. You guys are both great for paintball, and I like getting great people connected, especially when it comes to making paintball bigger and better. That's my whole goal all the time, is to do that. Did it for years before. Going to do it for as many years as I can now, believe me.
One thing with regards to Oliver Lang, every time I've seen him try to be on a podcast, 9 times out of 10, I shouldn't say 9 times out, but it just seems that there's a bad connection from internet connection from where he is to where you are. He's going to bring in big numbers because obviously he's probably he's considered the greatest of all time as far as paintball players by a majority of paintball people.
I would debate that, but
I'm just saying the player. Most people say
that's what I'm talking about as a player. Yeah,
right. So you might want to just test the internet connection before you announce and see if, and then try to arrange it.
Oh yeah,
after that.
yeah. Well, we're talking right now. He was going to try to be on a while back, but he went on vacation for like 10 days. So
He's in Bali. Where do you go on vacation when you're in Bali? Like,
anyhow, yeah, they call it holiday anyhow. And he was gone for like 10 days. He was gone like from the 10th, from the 8th to the 18th or something like that. But anyhow, as soon as he got back, he got a hold of me right away. And we've been working on it. We've been setting up a time. But, the problem I have is I try to schedule my shows ahead of time, so I get my guests and everybody lined up. So then I can knock it down. And the only time I really try to change things, if something big happens, and I think that I have to put the people on right away while everything's still fresh in the paintballer's mind, then I'll go ahead and I'll swap stuff around and put them on. So that's what I try to do. So, but we've been working on it, and we'll get it together. And he seems like a pretty nice guy, and I'm looking forward to having him on. And plus also. Go ahead.
Answer Josh for a second. Josh, just so you know, I don't have open communication with Ryan Greenspan. I've sent him a couple messages here and there, but he does his own thing, and so I don't see him on my show anytime in the near future. If he wants to be, he can reach out, absolutely. But Ryan and I don't really. The person I talk to the most on Dynasty is Yosh, who is probably one of the nicest guys in pro tournament I've ever met, period. But I don't have any plans to have Ryan on in any time in the near future. Not saying I won't, not saying I have anything against him. I don't. Him and I just don't really have a connection with Ryan or any of the guys from Dynasty, short of personally, short of Yosh. And even then that's limited.
Well, that's where I'm lucky, because I did a show down at Field 1, that's where Yosh and all those guys, because that's what they had to feel. So anyhow, I talked to everybody before the holidays here, and we're going to do another show live from Field 1 here coming up here in the next few weeks. So when that comes time, I'll promote it. What's that?
I really want to get one of their barrels. If you get the chance, tell them I said hi.
Oh my God.
I would love to have them on the show. But when I got the Beast up and running, Andy lent me his black and purple Caesarized Field 1 barrel, and it was a dream and a half. But unfortunately, I had to give it back. So the Beast actually doesn't have a barrel right now. So
I got it. Yeah, it's terrific, Steve. You'd absolutely love it. I don't even know if I've got it.
I love it. When I was at World Cup in 2019, I got the opportunity to hang out with the guys at Field 1, and no, I can't say enough great things about it. I think I love most about that Field 1 barrel is how the inserts lock with the tip. Doesn't show it there, but the actual tip of the tip of the inserts are tapered, and so when you put it in, the whole thing locks, so it has a perfect seal, and that's why I love those AccuLock barrels.
They're terrific. I mean, the engineering into it, Steve, are absolutely fabulous. And then it's got all the the different inserts and stuff like that, and you can see where Caesar put his stickers on my Field 1, because once it's Caesarized, you get it back. That's what you get right there. Ultra Sil inside. So, but Field 1 that's the barrel that I shoot. And I shoot it on my autococker all the time. And my autococker was specially made by my buddy Bill Bailey. This is what I used in the tournaments.
Yep.
And I can't even begin to tell you. This thing, we did a tournament about a month ago in St. Louis. And there was a pond right there. And this was at Torrey Bergoglio's field. Anyhow, the guys were out there and they were shooting their markers out into the pond. And I go out there and I start shooting it, and they shot the paint just straight as an arrow. And I was going probably about 25, 30 feet farther than anybody shooting. And they go, my God, what's that thing set at? Well, we went over and chronoed it, and it was chronoing at 272. It was it was still just outdistancing everybody. So, I was a mad guy. I'm still a mad guy. And I love the mags. Don't ever get me wrong. They're terrific. But this autococker, for some reason, it just reaches out there, man.
The thing about paintball guns, and I'm gonna say this, there's like because right now in today's day and age, it's probably one of the best times for gear because everything is so well made. I mean, not everything is perfect. Everything has its quirks, but I honestly believe that the paintball gun chooses the player, not the other way around.
Well,
when you get what fits in your hands, go with it.
Well, but I was sponsored for years by Airgun Designs. So, and Tom K, I love Tom K, and they took care of me like I can't even begin to tell you. But this autococker is so cool. And I did a show at a friend of mine up in Orville a couple of months ago. Steve Kissel and I went up there, and it was at Predator Paintball. And this guy brought in some autocockers, Steve. First of all, they were nothing short of gorgeous. And he handed it to me. And this thing, I could have swore it was made out of plastic. It was so light. The way he had it all trimmed up and everything like that, it was by far the lightest autococker I've ever held in my life. It was absolutely amazing and beautiful. So I can't remember the guy's name, but they were absolutely terrific. If I can ever get a picture of them, I'll send you a picture, Steve.
It was probably one of the customized shock techs, SFT.
Nope.
SFL.
Nope. Not for many of them guys. This guy did it himself. God, I cannot think of his name. It was just absolutely terrific. I mean,
I was just talking about the body, like
yeah, I'm talking about the whole thing.
All right.
Even the body. He did it, milled it himself. They handed it to me, and it just felt like I was holding my cell phone. That's how light it was. Matter of fact, I think my cell phone might even be heavier. But it was just amazingly light. It was so cool, unreal. And Kathy Alvarez just jumped in too, Steve.
Yep,
she's a sweetheart.
She's asking who is on the band for California WCPL. I'm free if you need help with anything.
Oh yeah, well I'll put you to work. You know that. Yeah, that Danny's coming out. Tim Schloss is coming out. Jim Lively's coming down. Gino from Velkin's coming out. So I'm privileged to be the captain of that team. It just blows me away. But anyhow, yeah, they're going to be coming out. And a friend of mine, Rob, from Fox Paintball back in Illinois, has got a hold of me today. And he says, I took and put this thing out on the internet, Fred. He goes, you guys need to get cards made for the band. He said, you need to have player cards made for the band members. So, that's something that I might look into. That might be pretty cool because to be in the band is extremely special. And they're all handpicked guys that have worked very, very hard for paintball over the years. And so I'm proud to be hooked up with these guys, period.
Yeah, but I'm not invited.
Yeah, it's a tough one to get into. I got to tell you, you got David Bell. He had View Loader back in the day. You got
you took Andy.
Well, that was at the very beginning. I didn't put Andy on actually. So somebody else put Andy on. But there's nothing wrong with Andy at all. So I'm glad he's with us. Yeah. But yeah, he got in at the very beginning. I think Bill put him in there, and
or Bud.
But
or Bud.
No, it wasn't Bud.
Nope. Okay.
Nope, it was Bill. Believe me, I know. And but Andy's a great guy. I'm glad Andy's with us. Andy's a good guy. Works really, really hard for the Ollie Remember Foundation. Does a lot of good things for a lot of people. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, now Ryan's saying he still has his super cocker that Seaver built. Well, I don't have a super cocker, but I have. Oh, let me see if I can get this off the wall. So this is a Jeff Orr custom.
That's beautiful.
This is actually an old Constant Pursuit gun. Paul Darnborough used this at the 99 World Cup, I believe. And anyway, Caesar completely rebuilt it, so it's got all new shock tech internals and the whole bit. So this isn't a super cocker, but it might as well be.
This is the one Caesar built also.
I thought you said Bill built that for you.
Huh?
No,
Bill got it for me. Bill got it for me. I sent it. Bill sent it to Caesar, and Caesar put all the high performance stuff on the nose of it.
Got it.
Redid the valve and stuff like that. The only thing, the only thing about this autococker is, being Fred Schultz has its drawbacks. I go out to chronograph a lot of times, and a lot of guys pull a pin and turn my bolt over. Yeah, I know. I can't tell you how many times they go up to the chronograph and this thing, the ball's rolling out of it.
So you need to get one of these.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
You can't turn it upside down.
Oh, really? Yeah, they turn this one. They turn it upside down on me. I mean, every tournament I go to, somebody's got to do that to me. Now, do I think it's funny? Yeah, because I'd do it if I could do it to somebody else too.
Now, you know that was one of the, since you're a mag guy, you know that was one of the classic ways of cheating with an autococker, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So when you pull that bolt out, you know how it's got the big hole?
Oh, yeah. You turn it over.
And on the top, there's no hole. So what they would do is they would drill a small hole on the top and they would chrono with that. And then they would flip it over and they would shoot with the big hole. So you could speed it up. And then when you walked off the field, you just pull it, you twist your thing and you put it back in. And you'd mark it so you knew which way was up and which way was down.
That cocker right there is beautiful.
This one? Yes, it is. Well, it's one of really about 6 or 7. Yeah, the anodizing is called bubble wrap. So I nicknamed this gun Bubbles because...
I got one of the very first autocockers when they came out and the Ironmen started shooting them. I got one from Bud right away after that. And I went over to England and I was playing in England and that's what I shot was my autococker. And there was a guy over there who's passed away now, but he was another friend of mine. And anyhow, he was on the news over there. He was a news guy. So he was taking pictures and everything like that. And he kept telling me before I left, he goes, Fred, you got to sell me that. I said, no, just go ahead and order one. He goes, we can't get them over here. I said, please sell it to me. So anyhow, I sold it to him for what I'd paid for it. And then I get back to the States and the guy calls me up and he goes, hey, he says, you know that he sold that gun for $1,000? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He goes, no, man. He goes, and that's a deal. He said, they're even going for more over here.
Yeah.
I like the fancy guns. I like the one you just showed. So
one of my dream guns, and I won't say which one it is because it'll give it away. But I went out and I tracked down one of my dream guns in the late 90s, and they were super rare at the time. And I was just glad to have it. I wasn't planning on using it or everything. I just wanted it because at the time I felt like I was going to decorate one of the rooms in my house with all paintball guns and stuff like that. And a friend of mine said, oh man, I want one. I want that. I want that gun so bad. Like I've always wanted one. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll sell it to you for what I got it for. Because it was sold to me as a friend. And like, if you want it and you're going to use it, then I'll sell it to you. So I sold it to him for $350 because that's what I paid for it. Pardon?
What was it?
I'm not going to say because if the guys out there watching, I'll tell you in the background. I'll tell you in private. He turned around and he sold it for over $1,000 within a few days. And he was bragging. He goes, oh man, you can't believe how much I got for it. I'm like, yes, I can. What? Anyway, so
well, Keith. Oh, go ahead.
Long story short, him and I, while we're technically still friends,
are technically not. Yeah, Keith Kissel just, Andy Greenwald. You probably never knew Andy. Andy was the captain of Navarone, and yes. We went head to head lots of times. And Andy came out with his semi-auto when everybody was coming out with semi-autos, and it was called the Blade. And he begged me to shoot that for him. Man, he wanted so bad. And I almost did it just to help him out because Andy and I were pretty good friends. But that thing
was a dog.
Andy's passed away, so I'm sure he's watching me right now. So I don't want to say anything too bad about it, but it wasn't the best. So
you know what gun I want to get my hands on?
What's that?
Hey, Kenneth Hefferly and Zodiac?
Yep.
He created a semi-auto that is just, it's got a all original internal, the way the regs work. And the thing is brilliant. I've watched hours of video on it. I would love to get my hands on one of those Zodiac paintball guns. Cause that thing, like you couldn't compete with the thing. So I don't even know if they make them anymore, those Zodiac markers. But man,
he
that
makes a great pack. I can tell you that much.
Best pack I've ever used in
my
life, next to Unique.
Oh yeah, I like Ken's. We call him Hef, but yeah, I like his. And real quick, Ryan Courtney just said, "Ha ha ha, Rainmaker." Yeah. Now, the Rainmaker was another thing, but I'll say one thing about the Rainmaker, other than you go deaf shooting it because it was so loud.
Oh, it barked like a dog.
Oh my God! But anyhow, when they shot good, but you just could not. They just would not stay together. When Brass Eagle came out with them, they go, "Yeah, Fred, we want you to shoot this." And I said, "Well, I said, send me 15 of them so my guys can shoot them." So they sent me 15 of them. Half of them worked. I mean, we were lucky when half worked, but when they did work, they did rock. But other than that, they were bad.
The only Rainmakers that I ever knew to work well, they ripped the reg out of the back and they put in the Air America regs.
Oh, the regulator, yeah. I still have some of the Rainmakers here. Let me grab this guy here. If I can. This guy here is one that I absolutely love. Now, this has never been shot. I've never fired a paintball through this bad boy.
Right.
Yeah, that was the #1 air system, mini air system from Air America. That was the #1 on that. And this is a number 13 marker that was made. And RT. just the tip on this thing cost them $14, and they had to order like 1,000 of them at a time.
Yep.
So yeah, these were really expensive. And who can really tell you a lot about this? Obviously is Sandman, Tim Glavin. But this one here has never had a paintball shot through it ever.
I
love the color.
That's just sad. It really needs to shoot.
Never. No, I just it was something Tommy gave me. Tom gave me that, and then Danny gave me the #1 system on the bottom, and I just never felt like I wanted to shoot it for anything. And besides that, I had a lot of mags anyhow. It just
still needs to be shot.
Nah,
just saying, you got to put paint through it.
Look at it. Look at the feed on it. Check out the feed. How it goes down and off to the side and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the Euro feed.
Yep, it's just I absolutely love this guy.
Yeah. So Garrett Simmons asked, wasn't the Zodiac and Chris Cole and Suppalock venture? I don't know that much. All I know is that Kenneth Hefferly, I don't know who he was partnered with at the time when he was getting Zodiac up and running 10 plus years ago. I'm out of the loop as far as that. But so I don't know the answer to that question, Garrett, maybe. But I know that Kenneth is the guy at the moment. Now, whether he has partners and stuff, could very well be.
Yeah, he just makes a fine pack. I actually had him on his show. He's a great guy.
Really is, so. I love the Zodiac pack that I have.
Just you look at the names of the people. Brian Stoops and Neb. I love Neb. Ben. I know who he is. I just he prefers to be called Neb. I'll call him Neb. I know exactly who he is. BA. We'll go there. Macho, they all need to
be given life with paint.
This guy's got life.
Need to shoot. What?
I put air in it and I fired it a couple of times. I thought, nah, I'm not going to throw any paint through this thing at all. Period. I just some things are special to me. Being the 13th one off the assembly line and the #1 little tank off the assembly line with that rig. Nah, I just wanted to keep it, and I'm happy I did. So that's pretty cool. But anyhow, getting back to the guys that are watching the show tonight, Steve. These people, I haven't seen an uncool person on here tonight. All of these people, and not just because they're watching. Nah, Kiko's my buddy. Kiko, I know. I know. Yeah, Kiko.
If he's going to fire him out at me, I'm going to fire him back a little bit.
I know, yeah.
It's all about the love. There's one rule in paintball that everybody, and I mean everybody, needs to understand. If we're not insulting you, we don't like you.
There you go.
If we're insulting you, welcome to the family.
Yep. Absolutely. Garrett Simmons, Kevin Camacho. They all need to be given life. Yep. Well, anyhow, these are some cool people. And we've gone an hour, Steve.
Yep. I didn't know there was a time limit. I thought we were just going to have some fun.
Oh, yeah. We'd talk until 4 a.m. if we keep doing that. So I've enjoyed myself. It's pretty cool. I'm actually glad we got to do this. And, just to tell everybody, how we feel about, first of all, their loyalty to, watching the shows that we do and to their loyalties to the sport, because that's what keeps everything going. William Bailey, Bill, let me tell you, Bill was fighting with a spider the other night, and I'll let her go there.
I saw the post.
It fell in the bathtub and put his foot through a fiberglass bathtub.
I thought it was his head that went through the fiberglass bathtub.
No, because then he wouldn't have got hurt at all if that would have been the case. No, it was his foot. And
fair enough.
Yeah, and thank goodness his wife Susan was there. She bandaged them all up. But I don't know how much you work with fiberglass or anything like that, Steve, but your foot goes through fiberglass. That's like putting it through a piece of glass, period. That stuff will cut you so fast it'll make your head spin, man. Oh.
So, all right, so we got Vincent asking us questions. How do we all feel about the 2022 off-season moves in the NXL? I will be honest with you, Vince. I haven't been following it, so I don't know.
I don't talk about it, so yeah, I got nothing against them, but
nothing against the pros. I tend to like the smaller teams, like the D4, the D5, the families that get together, they go out, they play. Like it's just. I think it's a little more passionate, a little less businessy. So while I've loved following Infamous, that's probably the team I root for most as far as pros go. But yeah,
well, it's going to be different this year because now the way I understand it, some of the regulations are they can only have three guys on a team that played on a winning team or something like that. Somebody was trying to explain it to me, and I just told him, I said, that's for the NXL to do. I have nothing against their thing. I'm a WCPL guy, and we're just going to try to do our thing and make it good for the players. Not that the NXL isn't, but they just have a different route and a different venue than
and that's great.
At, so.
But I love watching the NXL. I love listening to Matty Marshall. I think he's got one of the best announcer voices ever, and that's not paintball. That's sports. I love listening to Matty Marshall announce and talk. It just makes me happy. So I can't say enough great things about that. But the only I don't know Matty for like. When I went to talk to him, I think I was inconvenienced. I think he was in the middle of talking to somebody else. So I don't really know him. I just know when I listen to him.
Oh, I got nothing against. Yeah, I got nothing
I think
against
he's
him.
amazing.
Rich Telford works with him.
Oh yeah.
Partner, and
he's
Rich
a personal hero.
Well, Rich has been my friend for years. Rich played on. I got him started as a pro. Yeah. He played on Constant Pursuit for a couple of years. So
yeah,
Rich and I are we go way back. So, that's where I'm lucky. Like I say, all the guys that everybody talks about, I grew up with these guys, grew up in the sport with them. So
the only thing I can say about the off-season moves and stuff is kind of off topic is that Thomas Taylor just posted recently of Infamous that this might be his final season as a pro, which I think is sad because that guy's just getting it done. And I think yeah. So
cool. Right on, Steve. Well, I'll tell you what, buddy, we've been at it over an hour. I think I'm going to go kick back. Everyone grew up around you. I love you, Will. Bill Bailey, he co-hosts on my show. I hope you're healing. Man, good thing you had Susan there. You'd probably still be stuck in the damn tub and screaming that the spider is whooping your butt. And yeah, because Bill's not a small guy, and this happened right after Bill lathered up his hair and everything like that. So the tub is going to be slippery because he got shampoo all over everything. And the spider came down, and he went to hit the spider, and the rest is painful history. So,
all right. So somebody asked me where I got this shirt. I ordered it online from the guy that made it about 4 or 5 years ago. I forget the name and I can't read the tag on the back, but I saw them. I thought that they were cool. I ordered one. I know that the guy sent one to Bud Orr as well. So I know Bud Orr has one of these or had one. I don't know if he still wears it or not. But so I don't remember the name of the person that got it. Message me in private afterwards and I'll take a picture of the back, but it was a little company in, what's the name of that new island that you guys, the United States bought, but it's not technically a state?
Taiwan? No.
No, they bought you.
Puerto Rico?
Maybe it's no. It's like I don't know. It's like a little. Maybe it's Puerto Rico. I'm not sure.
Guam?
I'm a Canadian. I don't give a crap about American politics.
Yeah, we know. We know.
But there's
you guys are up there.
Yeah. Please buy us. I don't care. But yeah, no, it was one of the new states that's not technically a state. Whenever you join an American, whenever you join sorry, that's all, folks. No, sorry, take a deep breath. Fred's face making me laugh.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, when you're trying to remember what you just said 8 seconds ago, Neb Nillis said that photo at Mare Island was pretty cool. And what he's talking about is Jim Lively posted a picture of him and I last week. So I went and put it on my site, and it was him and I back in the day when I actually started the Mare Island, doing the tournaments and everything out there. And then I gave it up, and Sinatra took over and made it a field. But I was the one that actually got the permits and everything and got it up and going from the city, which was kind of hard to do because it was like a wetlands after that. Now there's nothing out there now. It's all gone. Now you go out there, there's no trees, there's no foundations, only water, because they made it a wetlands. Yeah, they made it a wetlands. So that's it. But Neb, that is a very cool picture. And like I say, that's just one of many pictures Jim and I took over the years. But that was pretty cool. And the reason I liked it, mostly not because of the location, but I had hair. I had a lot of hair, and I liked it then. So, yeah, I still got a lot of hair. It's just not in the front anymore. It's all in the back.
So less funny, business, Steve. More party.
Yeah, Keith Kissel said it's a toxic waste site. I love it. And William Bailey said Haiti.
Yeah, I don't think it's Haiti. But when you sign up for a contest and it says this is for residents of mainland United States and Hawaii, does Puerto not Rico. Apply. Is it Puerto Rico? Okay. Yeah. So that's where it's from.
Sure. Cool.
It's like I think it's called Extreme or something. It's on the back, but I'm all wired up. And so message me in private after the fact, and I'll send you a picture of where I got it. Maybe he still has some, or maybe he can make some.
Mainland, you say it takes. I'll take Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic for 5,000.
I think it's Puerto Rico then.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Keith cracks me up. I get to hang around with him all the time. Boy, I got to tell you,
I'm so sorry.
Up with some stuff. Nah, he's pretty funny, man. He's I enjoy hanging around with him, actually. He's cool. Crazy like the rest of us, so that kind of works out. So that's pretty cool.
Keith is one of those people that I honestly believe brings color to the world.
Well, you know what?
He's one of those strong originals where it's like the light just is going to dim when he leaves.
Well, that's the same thing about Neb, or Ben, as you'd like to call him. I won't say his full name.
That's his given name.
Ben. I know what it is. Yeah, I know his whole name. But Neb Nilla is what he wants to go by, so that's what I call him, But, he does the same thing, some of the stuff he puts on, it just cracks me up. I got to tell you. And the same way with Keith, Keith will say something to me and something I would have never thought of, shit, I'll just laugh for hours, man. It's just, some of it's just hilarious. So.
Yeah. And then the rest of it's like,
William, I'll bet Fred is hungry. Yeah. That's what's funny too, because I don't eat till after my show. So my stomach
meat sticks.
Yeah. And Bailey knows that too. So I'm glad your foot's healing up. There was this heel that went through that fiberglass tub.
Oh, I thought he had to take it out of his mouth.
Well, yeah. Well, he's not a little bitty guy. He's like 250 some pounds. So, the guy is not a midget, and you get that much going down like that. That's a lot of pressure on that poor fiberglass tub, believe me.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, this
yep.
is our welcome to 2022 show.
Yep, I love it too. I'm glad we did this, Steve. It's been a lot of fun.
Always.
It won't be our last one,
Well, it'll be the last first thing of 2022.
It'd be the last. It'd be the last of the beginning.
And the best thing, although this wasn't your podcast, this was my podcast. This wasn't anything. There was no agenda whatsoever. This was just you and I going, let's get together and let's just have fun with our friends.
It was a podcast.
Sure.
Well, what else would you call it? It's a podcast.
Having fun. To me, this was just having fun.
Right on. Well, I had a great time, and I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight, because this was, like Steve said, this was kind of off the cuff. Steve and I just decided, it's the beginning of a new year, and we just thought we would jump on and say hi to everybody and just talk a little bit of paintball. The whole thing is, like I say all the time, guys, if we do things by ourselves for paintball, we can do a little bit. If we all work together to do something for paintball, we can do a lot. So I think this year, 2022, I think we all need to come together, quit a lot of this infighting, and let's all get together and let's make our sport even bigger than what it is right now, and greater and even better in the eyes of the people that don't play paintball right now.
Yep, I agree. Like,
cool.
let's just start having fun, lead the charge, and anybody that wants to join our parade, let's just make this parade bigger.
Yep, William Bailey says paintball will be awesome in 2022, and it will, Billy. We just all work together, and we're going to all make it that way. That's the ticket. People need to understand that there's a way of doing things, and there's a way of not doing things. Like I always say, that you can be the best player in the world on the field. You can go out there and kick everybody's butt, and then you come off the field. If you're a jerk, you do nothing for the rest of us. You do nothing for paintball as a sport itself.
Right.
You need to come out, win, lose, or draw. When you come off the field, at least be cool. If you're mad, don't say nothing. I just want to build paintball. I did this for a lot of years when I first came into the sport, and I'm back into the sport, and that's exactly what I want to do from here on in. And we can do it, but it takes everybody's help. Just like everybody to watch tonight, you guys are absolutely cool for watching us. Am I right, Stevie?
Absolutely. But before I let you go, I have to ask you one question.
Shoot.
We were talking about Oliver Lang earlier, and I said that the general paintball community considers him the greatest of all time paintball player.
Okay.
And you had a hesitation, like you had a thought of who you thought the greatest paintball player was. Now, in my personal opinion,
I go back, I go way back before Oliver Lang,
Right.
I watched some terrific guys play. Marcus Davis is a great player. Robo back in the day was a great player. Bart Farmer back in the day was a great, I just know a lot of guys that are great. Now, is Oliver good? He's probably a terrific player. I understand that. But I go back way before. Oliver practiced with us out here.
Right.
The way I understand it, I guess he tried out for Constant Pursuit. Okay. Now, there's a lot of guys that are still not real happy with me. Look at Weiss, Dave Cook. He tried out for Constant Pursuit and didn't make it.
Right.
So, there's a lot of guys back in the day that we all practiced together and played together. And were they good players? Hell yeah. And is Oliver a good player? Probably. I never got to watch him play, but he probably is good. But I got to tell you, I go back a long, long ways in this sport.
I don't disagree.
Absolutely terrific players.
I want to know who you think is the greatest.
I can't tell you. There'd be a few of them. I can't say just one person, Steve. There's just so many that are absolutely excellent players. They really are.
For me personally, the person that I like watching the most over my whole history of paintball is Losoya. Like, flat out pony boy. If I had to pick who I think my favorite talented player is to watch, and was Chris Losoya. Now, I don't know. But the person that I wish I'd seen, and I can't remember. I want to say it's Marty Bush, but don't quote me on that. Somebody out there correct me, please. But back in the early days when
Marty was really good.
When autocockers and semi-autos were out there was one player that played on, I believe it was on the Ironman, and he still used a pump, and he was a front player. And from everything that I've heard from old schoolers, that guy was the best player ever.
There's a couple of Marty Bush did that also. But I'll tell you, you start lumping these guys together. I'll tell you a hell of a player back then and still, and that's Rick Sandias. Rick Sandias, now he played on Constant Pursuit for a couple games. He played on the Ironman for years. That kid, I mean, even today, Ricky is one of the best players that I know. He is smart. He's fast. It's still fast as hell. You'd be amazed. Like a little spider monkey, man. I mean, he's just absolutely terrific. So, I would never tell you one specific player, but I got to tell you, I would have to say, you like Chris Lasoya? You think he's the best? I think he's good, but I don't think he's the best. So
I'm just saying, from what I've personally saw, like when I saw him playing for Avalanche in Montreal at this one little indoor field, there was a pre-game tournament to Skyball. He came out and he just tore the other team to pieces in under 30 seconds.
Yeah, and he's probably a great player. But, like I say, Rick Sandias still does that.
Rick
Sandias he's not quite as old as I am, but he's darn close. He still rocks.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, rocks. This kid is incredible.
I'm he's not a kid anymore either, which is the best part.
He's a kid to me, but he's one hell of a player. And I don't say that because he's a good friend of mine. I say that because this is the truth. You can ask anybody that plays against the guy. He goes out there and plays. He puts on a pair of white coveralls and goes out there and plays. You don't give a damn if you see him. He just, it's real simple. I played in a tournament one time, and, I always shot the chrome and purple gun. That was my trademark, Yep. And then we won the game, and after the game, the kid come over and he goes, he says, Mr. Schultz, he goes, I could see you all the way across the field with that chrome gun. And I said, well, kid, I wasn't hiding from you. That's not what I was doing. I was out there playing paintball. So
I know I've had that. I used to have this really electric purple gun, which I had to get rid of because all guns were on me when I'd go out there. And actually I found out later it was one of the guns that Rick made because he was working for Bob Long at the time. Anyway, moving on. But they were like, oh, your gun's so bright in the woods. It's like, but by the time you see it, you're already walking off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
and I played, because Constant Pursuit was a professional team, one of the first professional teams, and we played for years. Constant Pursuit. I used the same gun all the time, always chrome and purple.
Yep.
So cut and dry. So
like guys like Dan Colby. I wonder why my mag is purple. I wonder why that is.
Well, Dan Colby goes, we were talking about it one day, and Danny goes, yeah, Freddie goes, I like any color marker as long as it's black. So, that's
all right, Henry Ford.
Yeah.
All
okay.
Right.
Brian Stoops. Bob Long was a name everybody knew in the early 90s, ESPN and APG.
Yep.
Yeah, they sure did. And I would
I'm
have
not saying he was the best player, though.
Oh, he was
one hell of a tactician.
He was a tactician, but he wasn't a killer player. I took Bob on one-on-one a lot of times, for different events that we went to. Never had a problem.
Right.
Bob was a hell of a player. There's no doubt about it. But,
as a captain, he was a juggernaut.
Yeah, he had a team too. Let me tell you.
I know, but
he had a team. You're talking about Marty Bush, terrific player. You're talking about Michael Beard, terrific player. You're talking about Darryl Trent,
Youngblood.
Terrific. Yeah, all of those guys. I mean, no, Youngblood wasn't even in the picture to start with. Youngblood.
No, I know, but
he played on Constant Pursuit and went to that. The original Iron Man was started by Rick Beard's father.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, by Michael Beard's father, Rick Beard.
Yes, Machine Gun Mike. Yep.
Yeah, and that's who started was Rick Beard, and they got the Ironman name because Rick Beard was an Ironman. He worked for the Ironworkers Union. That's how they got the thing. So, that team was rocking. Did Bob help it after he got there? Absolutely. But you need to look at the guys that played on that team.
Oh no, I know full well that was an all-star juggernaut team.
There was a lot because I practiced against these guys every weekend. Constant Pursuit and the Ironman, we practiced against each other all the time. We swapped players back and forth all the time back in the day too. And these guys on the West Coast, nothing against the East Coast guys because they had some hell of players there, but we had some serious talent back then, Steve. I mean, serious talent up here in Northern California.
Oh yeah,
it was great. I had a great time. So,
anywho,
yep.
Well, I just wanted to see if I could get your favorite player out of you, and you freaking shut me down hard.
Well,
so
be like,
I'd
have to name like 50 guys, because I would never say one guy's any given day. It's like watching a football game.
Yeah.
You can take a shitty team and they'll go out and whoop the best team in the world because it's any given day that just happens,
Right.
And that's the same way in paintball. Is Dynasty great? Absolutely. Is the Houston Heat great? Absolutely. Is there a couple other really, really good teams out there that could win on any given day? Absolutely.
Infamous.
So, yeah, there you go. Just that's what I mean is that. So to name one would be awful tough. It really, really would, Steve.
Yeah. I just
taking nothing away from anybody that we talked about because they're all great players. But just to name one, I just couldn't do it.
Got it. Well, I had a great night tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Josh, a.k.a. Chico, said that he thinks we should have more Sunday shows, I think, somewhere in the back. Maybe we will. It's one of those things that really depends on what's going on at the time.
Oh, I enjoyed it. Yeah. I just, I had a great time.
Nice.
I always do, I'm just, like I say,
me.
Yeah. Well, you're about this much of it, but our viewers are about like this. No, you were great.
Agreed 100%.
I absolutely love being on with you, Steve. It was pretty cool. But the viewers, I can never say enough about the people who watch this. Their interest in paintball is absolutely terrific. And I wish everybody, not just the people who watch us tonight, but everybody in the sport of paintball, I wish them nothing but the best for the entire year. And I'm hoping that all of us can get together and work together to make paintball even bigger than what it is. Let's make this year our year for our sport. Okay, guys?
Agreed.
So
absolutely.
I'm going to say goodbye, Steve. So please,
we'll say goodbye together because we're going to shut this down together. This isn't my show. This isn't your show. This is our show. So
well, I'll let you click me off first because I want to say to everybody, very, very happy New Year. I'm blessed for knowing all you people. I'm blessed from you people watch me, and I'm blessed for everything that I've got out of the sport of paintball. So please, till Tuesday night on my show, Flagpole Productions, 7:00 Pacific time, please play hard, play safe, play fair, but get out there and play paintball. Show everybody that you care. All right? Good night.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say what he said. Play with passion, everybody. Keep your paint dry. Happy New Year.